Okay, let's talk about something that's happening to every single one of us every single day. There's this kind of silent force that's working against your money right now. And in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly what it is.
Just think about that for a second. The money you worked so hard for, the money you tucked away in your bank account, it's not just sitting there safe and sound. It's actually getting weaker.
Right? That's the big question. How is that even possible? It feels like some kind of magic trick, but I promise you, it's very real. So let's go find out who's behind this whole thing. All right, our investigation starts right here. First up, we're going to put a name to this culprit. You know, the one responsible for your money's disappearing act. And there it is. It's not some cartoon villain in a mask. It's an economic force called inflation. Now, you've definitely heard this word before, but we're going to break down what it really means for you and your wallet. The really crucial thing to get here is that it's a two-way street. On one hand, prices for stuff go up, but on the other hand, the power of every single dollar you have goes down. So it's not just that things get more expensive, it's that your money itself is literally worth less. Okay, so we know the thief's name is inflation, but how does it operate? What's its game plan? Well, let's dig into exactly how this whole heist really works. Now, this is the key. You have to get this part. Inflation isn't sneaking into your bank account and taking out $100 bills. Nope, it's way smarter than that. It attacks your money's purchasing power, what it can actually do for you out in the real world. And this is where you really feel it, right? That same $20 bill, you remember it getting you a full tank of gas, no problem. Now, you're lucky if it gets you half a tank. The piece of paper in your hand is exactly the same, but its power has been sliced in half. So, why does this happen? Well, it's basically a chain reaction. First, for various reasons, more money gets created and enters the economy. Then, you've got all this new money chasing after the same amount of stuff. And just like anything else, when there's more of something, each one becomes a little less valuable. And finally, businesses have to raise their prices because the dollars they're getting paid with just aren't worth what they used to be. We've got the thief, we know its methods. Now it's time to talk about the real damage report. What does this crime actually cost you? Let's quantify it. You know, while inflation hits all your money, it goes after your savings the hardest. And why is that? Well, because savings, by their very nature, are just sitting there. They're completely defenseless against this slow, silent drain on their value year after year after year. And wow, this chart really shows you the long-term hit. You can look at your bank statement and see that nice, clean number, $10,000. But in terms of what you can actually go out and buy with it 10 years down the road, it's like you only have $7,400. The rest? It's just gone, vanished into thin air. 26%. Let that number just sit with you for a moment. More than a quarter of your savings' real-world power can be wiped out in just a decade. It's basically a massive hidden tax on anyone who decides to just hold on to their cash. So we've seen the thief, we've seen the damage. What are we supposed to do with all this information? In this last part, we're going to wrap it all up. So here it is, the bottom line. Inflation is always there, constantly chipping away your money. Leaving cash in a regular bank account is kind of like trying to carry water in a leaky bucket. You're always losing some. And really, the biggest, most important first step you can take is just knowing that this is happening. And that's really what it all comes down to. This isn't about finding a magic wand to stop inflation. That's not going to happen. This is about being smart. It's about understanding the rules of the game so that you can play it better. And that's the question I really want to leave you with, because it kind of changes how you look at everything, doesn't it? If the money we use is basically designed to get weaker over time, then the whole idea of saving it needs a major rethink. What that looks like, well, that's a whole other story.